Is there this cord that is supposed to be attached between the physical body and the ethereal body?
Not the physical body. It's called it's the silver cord. It's a pulsating, a silver cord that's attached from the back of the astral or the spiritual body to the higher self. That's why it's pulsating. You're getting energy from your higher self. Now, in a regular out-of-body experience, most people don't see it because it's behind them. Right. You have to kind of spin around to do that, or see somebody else in silver cord.
And it'll stretch indefinitely, right?
Yes, but here's the difference. When a person clinically crosses into spirit or clinically dies, that cord is severed.
It's severed.
So if you see a severed cord...
Like an umbilical cord in birth.
Exactly, except it's death rather than birth, okay?
Yeah.
So if it's severed, you ain't coming back, is what the point is on that one. But out-of-body experiences are not dangerous. They're perfectly natural.
Can it be severed by mistake?
No. There's a reason for it. It's not like somebody has a sword swishing around there and doing that.
It's going to clip you.
You choose your moment of death, and the death is actually well planned. So you're not going to accidentally go out of the body and sever the silver cord. That has never been recorded. And I've done over 3,000 times, and I've seen my own silver cord too.
And what have you seen when you've done your OBEs?
Well, I go into the fifth dimension. I go to various dimensions. I've described. Can we spend a few seconds talking about the dimensions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the astral plane. Every dimension has a different sound. The astral plane is characterized by the roar of the sea, like a seashell to your ear. And if you go to the astral plane, to the upper, not the lower one, the lower one is psychic attacking.
The upper would be godlike?
It's not godlike. It's just very positive.
Okay.
You have the Astral Museum. That's where Bill Gates and Einstein went, and Tesla and everybody else to get futuristic technology.
And they brought it back.
And that's how I developed my superconscious mind tap and my progression techniques. I went to the Astral Museum too. The lower astral plane is filled with negative entities. You don't want to be there. Demonic entities, some bad ETs,
Is that
reptilians.
what hell would be called?
Yeah, they call it more purgatory would be the better analogy, because you can get out of it. It's not permanent, okay? Now, the plane beyond that is called the causal plane, which is the sound is the tinkling of bells, like a New Age bookstore. And the causal plane is where, it's a very small plane, it's the smallest dimension, and that's where your Akashic records are stored. Beyond that is the mental plane, which is the sound of running water characterizes that. And the mental plane has blue highways. So if you're driving in a car or flying above it and you see iridescent blue roads, you're on the mental plane. All the entities or the people that are there, they look like little angels. They live in these houses of geometric designs. And the masters would hang out there. The Buddhas, the Jesus, the Moses, they would hang out the mental plane. It's a very spiritual dimension. Wow. Beyond that is the etheric plane. Now that's a biggie. The etheric plane is the largest dimension. The sound of buzzing bees is the characteristic. And that's when I talk with you on the show about the etheric plane surgeons. So if you have a medical issue that like cancer, AIDS, or lupus, or something that you can't cure, and there's nothing you can do on the earth plane, the reason why the etheric plane surgeons work well, these are entities that work on the etheric plane, your etheric body is identical to the physical body. All the other spiritual bodies are similar, but not exactly identical. The etheric body is identical. So if these etheric surgeons that look like giant tadpoles, if they work on your etheric body and cure the etheric body, then it's not a high percentage, but in certain cases, you bring it back to the earth plane when you awaken the following morning, you can transfer the healing energy. And I've done that with patients. So this is called etheric plane surgery. It's a very ancient technique. It's been around for many years in the old mystery schools in ancient Greece and Rome and Egypt. But I've actually westernized it for people to use. It's not a high percentage, but you got nothing to lose. And when it works, it's brilliant.
Much love to everybody, my friends. Leave your comments.
There is no death. Death is the comparable to sleeping, where life is being away. It's once you recognize those things, you see the eternal breathing in and breathing out of you and all things, each element breathing in and a positive thing. Like they say, there's a thing called negative charge. Electrons are this negative charge and protons are this positive charge. You crack heads, there's only everything has a dual as a corpuscle. Everything has both a positive and negative discharge. You cannot be negatively charged. Oxymoron itself. It's discharge. It's electricity. When it's lost its ability to seek that higher pressure condition, and centrifugal force overtakes it. Magnetism springs it out away from it.
Much love to everybody, my friends. Leave your comments, please. Scary footage is all over.
Ahí está la cola.
My friends.
Pero que Oh my.
We hit some iceberg.
We hit some ice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Oh.
What creature is that? Wow, 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 look at this. Where? What type of fish is this? Is this even a type of a fish or just some other animal in the water, my friends? Hey? Crazy stuff.
I have no idea what the fuck that is. Or why it's doing that when I video it. I didn't even change the settings. What the what?
Yeah, it's like the sun decided to be funny today. The unbelievable do this stuff really exist, my friends? Look at this. Wow, 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 wow. This is one giant fish. Extremely big, my friends. This one looks like now those ships. Oh. If that guy called Jonah was swallowed by one of those stuff, hey, he had plenty of space inside the stomach. Oh, these things looks huge. Extremely. Extremely huge. Look at this. Oh, and some guys in other places also what looks like dinosaurs. Little dinosaurs. Oh, this is unbelievable. Are those real stuff? Same to these ones. Oh my god. Hey, this is unbelievable stuff. Oh, see, these are the types of things that really add more fuel to my fear of swimming. You see? Imagine going in the water, coming across such animals.
Nothing happens by accident. And you all know this deep down, even though you may have forgotten on the surface. You all know this deep down. And it is time for that deep down part of you to ascend, to rise, to bubble up, and become truly aligned and harmonious and synchronous with the physical personality so that the behavior exhibits that knowledge, that certainty, that indestructible knowingness that you are worthy of creation, that you are worthy of your dreams, that you are worthy of joy. Because that is the state from which you were created. The explosion, in a sense, of ecstasy that you refer to as the beginning of all that is, still exists. For there is only one moment of creation, only one. Yet you experience that moment from all the different points of view you possibly can. And that is what you call different moments. But they are all the same moment from another perspective. So you are always in that moment of creation, the single moment in which everything exists here and now.
You should always be laughing, my
you,
friends.
You still believe that the Earth is a ball? Well, stick around and you're going to find out that these emergency flight path landings prove in and of themselves that the Earth is flat and stationary. Take this flight for example. This flight was from Dallas to Beijing. Emergency happened along the way, so they decided to stop all the way up in Calgary. On the globe, makes no sense. But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Dallas to Beijing, Calgary is along the way. Here's another one. This flight was from Buenos Aires to Qatar. Emergency happened along the way, so they decided to stop all the way up in Rome. Honestly, that seems like a waste of gas. Like, why couldn't you just land somewhere here in Africa? But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Buenos Aires to Qatar, Rome is along the way. And this one seriously has to be obvious, guys. So this flight was from Santiago to Johannesburg. And remember guys, these are emergency landings, so they need to land the plane as quickly as possible. So they landed all the way up in Senegal, passing the equator. But if you take a look at it on the flat Earth map, Santiago to Johannesburg, Senegal, is along the way, needing to pass the equator. My favorite one of them all has to be this one. This flight was from Auckland to Lima, Peru. But remember guys, these are emergency landings. So they decide to stop all the way up in Los Angeles. Like, do y'all see the problem here guys? On the globe, makes no sense. But if you take a look at it on the flat earth map, Auckland to Lima, Peru, Los Angeles is along the way. What do you guys think about all of these? Y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow me, and share this. Let's get these out to the people. And like always, God bless.
I've always asked myself that question, my friend. Please leave the answers if you have. I had some guys there came home to see stuff. English people. One of good vibes guy from there had come to this side of the world to see how people live, you see? And they came across this wonderful elephant here, full of good vibes. And the elephant can understand these good vibes, guys, you see? My friends, see what's even more interesting with these animals. As long as you are full of
The soul
love,
comes into the body, not suddenly, shockingly, but in stages, in increments. 40 days before conception, the soul is told that it's going to be born, conceived. So first the soul is told to get ready. The soul is not thrilled by that idea. To leave heaven, to be constricted into the limitations of a human body, to share that body with a human soul that has human demands, not an appealing prospect. But if God says, the soul gets ready. That's the first step.
and God is love. Hey, well, my friends, what type of car is that? What? And in other places, some guy here has decided to be creative in farming. And he uses what looks like a double.
I was so happy to see this article today. It is by a physicist called Nassim Haramein, who I have followed on and off over the years and always been very intrigued by what his offerings are. And this one was about the sun being a black hole. And when I saw it, this is the most spectacular thing. I've been talking about the sun and how at Ascension we're going to see another side of the sun, and that is the black sun. And of course, a lot of people misunderstand. Oh, black sun sounds scary. It's really exactly what happens to the sun at the solar flash, because the solar flash is the coronal mass ejection. It is a micronova. So it is a coronal mass ejection unlike anything we could currently comprehend. A full coronal ejection. So that means, imagine if all of the plasma that we see, that is the light of the sun, imagine if that was a cloak. And imagine the sun takes its cloak off. What's going to be left is the naked sun, the black hole, the stargate. That's what it actually is. The sun is a stargate. Many of you will know this, that we have UFOs, we have craft traveling in and out through that sun, and they have been doing so for pretty much all of time. You can screenshot the article, read it for yourself. These are some of the videos that I've put up in the past talking about what happens at Ascension, about how the sun goes dark. What is a stargate though? A stargate is so much more than we can understand, because we think of a stargate merely something that facilitates travel, which it does, but it does so much more. It is what you see when you look up in the night sky. You see the cosmic web. The cosmic web is what you see when you're looking up and you're seeing all of those stars, and they're all connected, every single one of them, to each other through a cosmic highway. Each star that you see is a node point on that cosmic highway, so to speak. And what you're seeing is consciousness, the universe's consciousness, God's consciousness, and it speaks to you through these portal points, because a portal also transmits frequency. And that's why people talk about light codes, because they're standing underneath the sun, absorbing the sun's light codes. And there's something you have to know about our sun. Our sun is one of the biggest stargates in the universe. Biggest not in size, biggest in capacity. Our sun's capacity to hold the light codes of various destinations throughout the universe and even beyond the universe. Galactic travelers used to use our planet as a stopover point because the sun was this major hub, kind of like an airport. And imagine an airport that is a major hub that's going to take you to any country in the world that you want to go to versus a little airport that just has a little bit of local travel. Our sun is that massive intergalactic hub. It is a sacred outlet for creator consciousness. You're a part of that. Do you know why? Because your heart is a stargate too.
Just leave your thoughts about that. Hi. Where? My friends? Whoa, wait a minute. How can you explain this? What's happening? What? Guy, my friend, is this a ship or is this some people's house? Oh my god. They have been carried by water. What is that? My friends, look at this. What are these things? God, some of these things really surprise me.
This creature, look at that thing. It's like on the dune. Maybe with a
Hey, this world is full of mysterious stuff.
taken from a backyard security camera in Arkansas.
Anyone else got an idea of what this creature might be? I'll give you a hint. It went extinct many years ago, but there was photo evidence of this creature existing. No other ideas? I'll show you. The Tasmanian tiger. It's got the stripes. It's got the body shape. In that first picture in that guy's video, if you want to go and watch it, you can obviously, go back and watch it. But the animal has a very wide mouth, similar to the Tasmanian tiger. Very wide, and it can open up really, really big. And in another picture, it was showing the creature kind of like from a far away distance. You could see the stripes on the back end, you could see the legs, you could see the long tail. It's gotta be a Tasmanian tiger. But now here's the big question. Why is it in Arkansas? How is it not extinct? And what's the actual origin of the Tasmanian tiger? Because, shoot, I haven't done much research. I've just seen pictures. I know that it existed. But what's its original origin story? And why is there now, like backyard camera footage of it in Arkansas? What's going on in Arkansas?
First time I'm hearing of such an animal. Oh, why do they insist on drones for spying? This is crazy. They say they have hundreds of satellites. But they have
I'm
drones.
seeing a disturbing amount of people in the comments claiming that hydrogen peroxide boils with everything it comes into contact with. And this is simply not true. As you can see with the regular leaf and then this dry part of the leaf that's bloody, there is no reaction, and that's because you simply lack the understanding of how a catalyst works. Hydrogen peroxide only reacts and boils when it comes into contact with bacteria and other substances such as cells and blood. Hence this demonstration.
Huh, that's interesting. Those are my brothers from other places of this side, but they don't know what they are
Everyone
doing.
knows that dogs' noses are amazing. But do you know just how amazing they are? Here are some fun facts. The dark part of your dog's nose is called a leather. And everyone is unique. They're like human fingerprints, as in no two noses are the same. The end of your dog's nose is always cold and wet because that moisture traps scent molecules that are then taken up by the nose and filtered up through the nose by tiny hairs called cilia. Dogs have what is known as a Jacobson's organ, also known as a vomeronasal plate. And humans don't have this, but it's located on the roof of the mouth just behind the incisors. And it's an important organ for dogs because it detects pheromones. And pheromones are chemical messages that are present in secretions. And it's the reason why dogs, yes, they might greet each other face to face, but then they go and sniff each other's behinds because that's where a lot of the dog's scent signature is located. And these pheromones contain information about male or female, sexual availability, and emotional state. If you look at your dog's nostrils, you'll see that they're kind of like human nostrils, but they also have slits at the side. They're called nares. And this makes sniffing very efficient. So when a dog sniffs, it takes up the air and the scent into the nose, but when it breathes out, it gets rid of the air that it doesn't need, but at the same time, it's also sniffing. So dogs can sniff in and out 7 times a second. Don't you try and do that, because if you do, you're going to hyperventilate. How many scent receptors do you think dogs have? Well, we humans have around 6 million. Dogs have an average of 220 to a billion scent receptors. It is said that if you took a drop of human sweat and you put it into like a cubic meter of air, a person would smell it, and so would a dog. But you take that drop of human sweat and you put it in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, your dog will be able to smell it. Now that is incredible. Smell is the one sense that bypasses all other areas of the brain and goes straight to the amygdala for processing. The amygdala is the brain's emotional center. Humans have it too. And in a way, if you want to understand this, think about smelling a smell that evokes a memory for you. It could be a good memory or a bad memory. So for me, I think of the smell, whenever I smell, it's been a hot day and it suddenly rains, that smell of rain on hot tarmac reminds me of where I grew up in Wimbledon, especially during the Wimbledon tennis fortnight. So smell evokes memories. It does in people and it does in dogs. And now the big one. Your dog can tell time. Why? Well, maybe not in the way humans can, but when a dog smells something in the air, they're smelling the future. They're smelling what's to come. When they smell something on the ground, they're smelling what was there. And the air moves very differently in your house throughout the day. During the day, air rises up the walls to the ceiling, and at night, it comes back down to the ground. Air conditioning and heaters obviously can disrupt that, but in general, dogs might be able to tell the time of day just by where the air is placed in the house. Now you know a bit more about your dog's nose. Hopefully you see the importance of allowing them to go sniff when on a walk. If you have a dog that just keeps sniffing and you can't walk anywhere, well, try sharing the walk. That means for the first 20 minutes they're allowed to sniff, and then you say, hey, it's my turn now, we're going to go for a walk.
The following footage was captured by a witness in New Jersey on April 7th, 2024, about 7 a.m. She thinks she captured what looks like dozens of angels flying through the sky. The question we need to ask: 1, what is it? It does look like it's flapping. But 2, do birds glow? Because these objects seem to have some sort of glow or silver sheen to them, and the speed that they're moving, the camera can barely track it itself. Take a look at this because this one's truly paranormal. The question still remains, what did she record? Tell me what you think.
Video that.
They look silver.
They look angelic or some shit.
Yeah, I seen a red one in there too.
Oh my God, that look at, it's a lot of them. That's making me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh. Wow. Me too. Girl, I just happened to come. Look, let me see.
There's a whole bunch of them.
I'm trying to get. Damn. That is. I'm.
Oh my god. How can you explain this stuff, man?
Sweet potato leaves are the superfood that no one knows about. They have 89% of your daily vitamin K right here, raw, 1 cup chopped up and added to a salad, or if you prefer it cooked, it's still got 58%. Do it, baby.
Ah, my friends, that's a good vibes video there. You see, that's a very delicious food. If you have never tried it or have never come around the sweet potatoes, you can search about it in the internet. But about the taste, it just tastes nice. You see? Now, my friends, for seeing after this far, you see, you deserve some salute there, some round of applause, yeah, and just good vibes to yourself. You see? Because that gesture is very appreciated. And I hope and pray that you will always do so. You can even take a look at like 5 or 7 or even 10 videos before. Take a look from the beginning till the end and leave comments, my friend. You see, to those that have clicked today, feel very welcome here. Hit the like button, subscribe, the membership button, and the notification bell so that you can always be updated when you upload videos. You see, myself, I'm Y311H, and till next time in the next video, I wish you luck and good vibes. Peace be with you, man. Bye bye. You are loved. Lots of love.